Kelly, is this your meeting?
Yes, this is my meeting.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
Just so you know, I'm in the middle of an MDC meeting, and I just walked out of that room. So I'm actually sitting across the street from City Hall in a conference room.
Perfect. Perfect. Needed you here, John. So good evening, everyone. It's 6 p.m. on October 23rd, 2024. My name is Councilwoman Kelly Bilodeau, and I'm the chair of the Public Works, Parks, Recreation, and Environment Committee. I'm now calling this meeting to order. This committee meeting is being live broadcasted on the following outlets: Comcast 96, Frontier 6032, HPA-TV.org, HPA-TV Facebook page, HPA-TV's YouTube channel, HPA-TV Roku TV, Apple TV, Amazon TV apps. It will also be rebroadcast and made available on the HPA-TV YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. With me tonight, I have Councilman John Gale, who's a voting member. In addition, I have Senior Planner Grace Yee from the Department of Development Services, and we also have Director Christopher Hayes of the Public Works Department. We have one item on the agenda tonight. That item is item 2.1, and it is an item from Mayor Arulampalam with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to accept $800,000 in funding for the Farmington Avenue streetscape to be administered through the Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development, DECD. So tonight we have Grace Yee here, Senior Planner, who will be speaking on this item, and I give her the floor.
Thank you, Chair Bilodeau, and glad to be here with everyone to talk about the request. For a little bit of context, this is a request for accepting funding from the state of Connecticut to support the Farmington Avenue Streetscape project. For those that are unfamiliar with it, that streetscape project is intended to stretch from Denison Street, where there was previous work stretching further east, all the way to the town line at Prospect Avenue. The improvements to the street include amenities for pedestrians, transit riders, cyclists, safety improvements in terms of curb extensions, improved lighting, as well as raised crosswalks. All of that is intended to support quality of life, including new trees and other infrastructure put in place in that space. So we've been excited about that project, and this funding is intended to supplement it with an award of $800,000 from the state to be administered through their Department of Economic and Community Development. So if there are any questions or comments, happy to answer that, but that's a broad overview of the project and the general request to accept funding.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Before I open up the floor for discussion, I just want to welcome Attorney Danielle Combs from the Corporation Counsel's Office. I now open up the floor for discussion on this item or any questions. Councilman Gale.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Grace. Is this project being administered by the city of Hartford?
So to clarify, the construction activities are being done through the city of Hartford. We do have a consultant team handling some of the day-to-day activities. The funding is administered by the state.
Okay, but the contractors who are out there working and the design, all of this was approved in-house here at the city, and we're overseeing everything that's going on out there.
That's correct.
And I take it that the cost is increased, and hence the need for additional funding from the state of Connecticut in order to complete the project within budget and not have to tap any city revenues for this.
Right. So this project has grown over time, and you might have seen that we received funding, throughout the years for this. This funding that we're receiving, the $100,000, can support construction funding as well as related services such as inspections, etc. So yes, it's intended to support those activities.
Excellent. Well, I know Councilman Hernandez will be very keen on making sure that DPW inspectors are out there confirming that the manhole covers are at the same level as the ultimate paved surface as time goes on. But my particular observation that I wanted to share this afternoon is got to do with the pavers that are being installed. The project's moving along seemingly at a nice clip. Sidewalks new sidewalks have been installed from not quite Prospect Avenue. They're working their way down to Whitney Street at this point. And along with the new sidewalks, you're getting a concrete sidewalk, but then you're getting pavers on the street side of the sidewalk and in other places. And I thought to myself, well, gee, isn't that good? We're getting some pavers so that here's an opportunity for stormwater to simply seep into the ground through the pavers and not go into the system where we know we've had all sorts of stormwater issues. But then I noticed that the way in which the pavers are being installed is that they're installed on an asphalt bed. So you can nix the concept of it helping with stormwater. And I mention all this just to, as part of a continuing conversation to maybe get us thinking a little bit more about, when we're designing these things. I mean, this is designed and underway right now. And maybe there's a very good reason why there's an asphalt base to these pavers. But, I wanted to mention it because I want to encourage DPW and everybody that's, anybody that's listening to this to think in terms of ways in which we can distribute stormwater right into the ground as opposed to into our combined sewer system. So thank you, Madam Chair. That's my only, it's not a question, it's really more of a comment.
Thank you, Councilman Gale. I think I only have one question. If you could just tell me what the phases of the project will be until completion, because I'm kind of new to this and I just want to make sure that I am keeping up to date on this project.
Yes, of course. And as a general broad overview, we started with design and engineering prior to this phase of construction. We started construction actually earlier this year around the spring. Much of the work started around May or so. So it's only been about 5 or so months since that time. A lot of that time was focused on working on drainage because, as we all know, stormwater is very much important. And then also the area between Prospect Ave to Whitney Street. So you might have seen that a lot of the work and activity have been around that area, and then they'll be moving forward to the other area, hopefully soon. They are still on track, they said, to complete next year. So that is also another good aspect to the pace and the progress that they've been making. I will make a quick note of clarification on inspections that DPW is certainly doing project management on that, but the on-the-ground inspections are being done through Beta, the consultant team.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for your presentation and answering of all of our questions. Very excited to see Farmington Avenue looking shiny and new in the near future. So I know, Councilman Gale, you're probably very excited about that, seeing it's your neighborhood.
Absolutely, Madam Chair. And we're certainly hoping that this is a catalyst towards greater economic development along Farmington Avenue, where we've got a very large amount of vacancies at present and a number of buildings that are essentially blighted buildings. So hopefully that this will, with the city doing the infrastructure, will encourage folks to start investing some money along the avenue. So, and with
Absolutely.
that, I would certainly make a motion to send this back to council with a favorable recommendation.
And I second that motion. So all of us in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the motion has passed and we will send this item back with a favorable recommendation to the city council for approval. And thank you everyone for attending tonight. We have no further business, so I will make a motion to adjourn. And I hope everybody has a great evening. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.